Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Let's do the Blazers exit interview. So if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe, and leave your grade and what you would do in the offseason for the Portland Trail Blazers. They finished 42-40, and they were swept by the Thunder. Give me your pro for the Blazers.
I mean, I think the first pro is like they held it together, even though their coach got arrested like the second day of the season. And they were able to like piece it together a little different than I thought. I had them as a play-in team, but I thought it was going to be like on the back of just like an incredible defense. That kind of came and went, but being able to coach your way out of that through some injuries. I know I've been highlighting coaches, but I think some of these teams did really good coaching jobs, especially in the West, to like get your way up there and they made it to the playoffs and gave the Spurs at least a game, threw some things at them. And I think they were a good like warm up for the Spurs because the Blazers were willing to just throw some stuff at the wall and try a few different things.
Oh,
talent is, far less. It's probably not going to work, but I liked it.
Yeah, they didn't get swept by the Thunder. Why did I write that down? They lost to the Spurs by 5. Thanks for correcting me. My goodness. I wrote it down wrong. My bad. Agreed. I think too, like as the season went on, they kind of started getting their defensive identity as well. Thiago Splitter, right? He did a good coaching job. We'll see if he's back or not, depending on that's going to go into some of our cons. But so I just think the culture, they reestablished a good culture, and maintain a culture, like you said, despite what happened to Bill. So I'm with you on that. Denny Avdia is a pro for me as well. Like, just he keeps getting better. Like, hey, any Washington reject, like, go to a different team. You might be good. 24-6-6. And we saw him, like, be competent as, like, a good offensive, like in the playoffs. Now he might be a number 2, not a number 1. So if you can get someone else there that he's kind of with and you're going back and forth, that's totally fine. But he is something. And I think he's a building piece and like you can build with Avdia as one of your pieces. And so 24-6-6, like I mentioned this year. And so, yeah, that's got to be a pro for them.
Yeah, he was on mine. I put him second, but still 20, like you said, 24 points a game. And he showed like he could get to the hoop and get to the line. Maybe I wrote it. He got like 610 free throws on the year. And he
got more than Cade.
Games. Yeah, like even against the Spurs, like he's still going to the hoop against Wemby. So his shot probably got to get a little better, 31%, 32% from 3, but he took that big jump where you're like, you're right. He's probably not in the Cade level of big guy with the ball can do stuff, but he definitely is good enough that you could see a foundation piece with him.
Right. Like if you put him next to a guy like Cade, like now you're like, in my opinion, you're kind of cooking. Or if you put him next to Giannis, let's just say, like now you're cooking. Like I think that he's that type of player, which he seems to be. We'll see if it happens, but like that's the, I guess, hope you get from watching him play this year. Another pro.
I put Scoot came alive in the playoffs.
That's a pro.
He showed up, like, again, talk about a guy that like you're kind of high on and then you're like, oh, he's always injured, but he was pretty good in the playoffs. Maybe that's a little something to see. It's hard to trust. But if you're thinking of the long-term viability of the Blazers, maybe those 5 playoff games and 46% from 3, which is obviously unsustainable, but maybe that's enough to convince some said team, if you're looking to make a move, that there's still something here, some untapped potential.
Yeah, he kind of was like the either I'm going all in or I'm not doing anything. Didn't he have a game where he scored 0 points too or something like that? Yeah. So I mean, like in the playoffs I'm talking about. So I'm just like, yeah, it's good because you're seeing something from him and he kind of like had good moments. We just needed more consistency, but we'll give a pro for that. That's a good pro. I put Klingon. I think he progressed really good this year. Again, it's only his second year. I always say that like for big men, right? It's his second year. Yeah, his second year. He's Ron Holland's draft. So, second year, and I always say big men take a little bit longer to develop, and I think I like the development. Then the big thing I like is that he shot 34% from three, so he can extend the floor a little bit, and I think that's important for a big guy these days because when again, if you watch the Western Conference Finals right now, you need to spread the court, and if you cannot spread the court, it's going to be rough. On top of that, he was 12 and 11 with 2 blocks, roughly 2 blocks, a little under 2 blocks a game. So I just think his development was probably the best of all the young guys, and so I'm going to give that a pro.
Yeah, they definitely need him to keep it going. I think the playoffs were like a good, I don't want to say wake up call because Wemby is one of one, but like, okay, this is where we need to continue.
Yep, no, I agree. I agree. I think it's good that he got to experience that and be like, okay, this is like I think one of the things he has to work on is around the rim stuff. I think like when he was in the restricted area, he shot like 61%. That's got to be better. Like he's too big of a guy to be allowing that to happen. So, okay. Any other pros?
No,
Okay, give me cons.
you mentioned like Klingon making some like progress in that. Like, I don't know, Shaden Sharp kind of like
Yeah,
plateaus, like 50 games again, 50 games. Like the Blazers have a lot of guys that keep getting hurt or don't
right.
play between him and Scoot. And I know the playoffs looked rough. He's coming back from injury. I don't think he was 100%, but the 3-point shot really hasn't come along. He's still right around 33%, which is passable. But like defensively, he looks really rough. And, you know, you hate to be like, oh, this guy who's so explosive and can do so many, you know, cool things when he gets up in the air. But it seems like he's kind of like hit that ceiling at the moment. And I think if you're trying to be excited for the Blazers, he's a guy that you probably want to see up that, be a little better shooter, be a little more consistent, lock in a little bit more on defense. And I don't think we got a lot of that this year.
Yeah, I agree. Like Sharp, so there are some areas where he did progress a little bit, like, but it's not the jump you want from a third or fourth year player, right? He's in the same draft as Ivy, and like I remember him coming out. I was enamored with him. I'm like, yeah, let's put him next to Cade, see what happens. And the one thing they were saying, like, he's going to be a project. Like he's a very raw 19-year-old. So he's only 20, what, 21? 22. He's
Yep.
22. So who knows? Maybe with an off season, one more off season, but that's always like the hope. You just wish for a bigger jump. So I had him down as well because I thought there would be a little bit bigger of a jump. Along with Scoot Henderson, I had him down. Again, he only played like 30 games, started 10. But again, it's like, well, injury's been a problem for Scoot for his early years. And he's just like, when he's on the court, he's either like we saw in the playoffs, he scores 29 points, carries your team, or he has zero. And it's like, you kind of don't want that. He almost looks like more of a combo guard than like a point guard, like somebody who's going to just score a bunch. Um, and, it's just not what you want to see from your young guys progressing this year. And then the question, okay, so I'll stop it there. But it's going to go into something I probably would do differently. But
Yeah.
anyway, so Scoot and Sharp, I agree with you on Sharp, but I also would put Scoot in the same boat as Sharp. It's like you wanted to see more from.
Yeah. Yeah. Scoot only made my pros because he had four playoff games that look, I looked it up. It was like 5-0, 21, 31, 18 or whatever, like his
Yeah.
5 playoff games. So maybe 3 good playoff games. But yeah, again, Scoot, same thing. Oh, you only get 30 games. It's hard to be like, wow, what a jump.
Yeah, and you're really just trying to hype yourself up just in case Scoot ends up on the Milwaukee Bucks for some reason this offseason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, any other cons?
Just new owner.
Though I
Um,
have owner down as well, yeah.
I just think like some of the things he initially did, then walked back about like not knowing you should pay for your two-way players to go. But then was it yesterday? They like let 70 staffers go, throughout the organization. And it's like, all right, like, I mean, it's your team, but I think that goes farther than maybe he realizes in the NBA world, as far as if you're going to bring someone in and they're like, you're like letting 70 guys go that probably aren't, these aren't like, oh, I saved 70 million because I cut 70 high,
Right.
high earning jobs. But um, yeah, he makes me nervous that the other owners were pushing for what they basically did this year. And now you have a new guy that says he wants to win and he's going to take the approach that worked in the NHL that had a successful team. Um, I mean, maybe we'll be wrong, and maybe this dude is just going to blow all of his money on the players that count and kind of cut corners around. But I think that's hard to do in the NBA.
Yeah, I agree. It's not a good look, and like you said, I like how you put it even goes further because like it affects the players too, right? Like they develop relationships with a lot of these people that are inside the building and stuff. So, you know, obviously if your owner's cheap and you're just firing everybody, it's going to affect you too.
Yeah, and I just think it's like they had the staffers didn't get like a late checkout at a hotel because he didn't want to pay
Right.
it, and you're like, look, dude, I mean, I know we're talking about insane amounts of money that these guys spend, but again, whatever he paid for the Blazers 10 years from now, if he wants to walk away from it, the $5 million you might save over 10 years by not giving late checkouts to some of the massage people or training staff is like, really, that's what we're focused on. And I think that's where these guys lose sight of. And it's easier for us to say, again, we didn't put forth $4 or $5 billion to buy this, but you're like, come on, dude, all these dudes walk away, 10, 100, 200 times what they paid for it down the road. Just eat the late check-in cost, my man.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah. I think ideally we think about like if we're in the same situation, what would we do? And it's like, yeah, we would just do what we should do and eat the cost for sure. Yeah. Okay, any other the splitter thing is really weird too. I just want to put that as a con to end your season where it's like, are we going to bring this coach back that somehow helped our situation stay intact despite losing our head coach? I just think is ridiculous. I don't know why it's that hard. I don't know what the number is, but I can't think like to myself, I don't think it would be something unreasonable. So I think that's a con as well. I don't know how you just don't be like, yeah, you did really good. Let's give you like a 4-year contract or something like that.
And unless they're pulling one of these assistants from one of these other organizations, like, I mean, Splitter did a good job.
I
You can always pick it apart, but he did go against a team that just held the Thunder down in game one. Like he didn't lose in the first round. Like, oh man, he got swept by the Magic. It's
Yeah.
just like, I mean, he did a good job. I don't know why you would not give this guy some years.
Yeah, I agree. Anything else?
No,
Okay, what would you have done different if you were the Blazers?
I think we're probably on the same page with this one. Is the Blazers are like on that edge of like, you have young guys, are we developing them? But they wanted to win last year, and I think like Drew Holiday had a good year, really good dude, good player, but you don't get and Scoot was injured, so that kind of played into it. But you don't get to kind of unleash that. Shaden Sharp gets kind of put back a notch. You kind of turned the team over to Denny, which turned out to be really good. But some of these guys just kind of get pushed down, and you lose a little development for the sake of making the playoffs, which I guess again comes down to money. As a Bucks fan, as a Pistons fan for years, like you're like 8 seed or bust. Like, cool, we got 2 home playoff games, but I think we'll get to it with off-season stuff. For the long-term, long runway of your team, you'd rather see Scoot have a good year, and you get to the you don't make the play, and you'd rather see Shaden Sharp make a jump and miss the play, and to know kind of what you have.
Yeah, if like if you ask Blazer fans if you would have rather seen Scoot and like uh Sharp make a leap, you know, and miss the play in or playoffs, or would you rather have what happened happen? I think they would pick that, and that was my thing too. And I just think like sometimes with vets, and I'll say this a number of times when we talk about these interviews, there can be like progress stoppers. Like they're out there and they're in the way of a young guy that might just need minutes and time and time to develop. Like even like they were playing Thibault 16 minutes. He only played 30 games, but like 16 minutes a game. It's like we kind of know what Thibault is. Like, why are we playing Thibault? But it's because you're right. Their goal was like we got to win games. So Thibault's better than maybe giving more minutes to, Murray, or more minutes to, what's his name, Sharp or Henderson or whatever. But it's just you kind of have. I don't think there's a lot of success in drawing that line, and you make your young players stagnant, and then you don't know whether you should play them or not. I mean, pay them or not when the contract comes up, and the veterans you're like not committed to them, so it just doesn't make a lot of sense. But yeah, I'm with you. I definitely would have focused more on development this year.
Yeah, maybe they'll get their cake and eat it too if those playoff games were the leaping board for Scoot, but
Yeah,
time will tell.
yeah, and we'll talk about their offseason too, which could change things. So grade them, grade their season for the Blazers.
I give them 4.
Oh,
I mean, they kind of picked right where I thought, so maybe technically for me they were a 3. But I think if you were thinking of the Blazers, a lot of people kind of buried them, and we're just going to be like, good story. Maybe we'll see something from Scoot, and then they'll be a lottery team.
yeah, and I think it'd be fair if you're like Scoot would only start 10 games and Sharp only would play in 50 and Chauncey Billups would be a gambling aholic or whatever he was. You would probably be like, yeah, they're not getting to the play-in. They're not making the playoffs, and that's the opposite what happens. So I think a 4-star from you is fair, and a 4-star from me is also fair because I think I had them as like a dark horse team, but I didn't have them making the play-in or the playoffs. So yeah, I think 4 stars, all things considered. Off season. What would you like to see them do this off season, Clint?
Again, we talked about like their younger guys. Now you're bringing Dame back into it, right? They
Hmm.
signed him. He didn't play all last year, recovered. Um, I doubt that they signed him to just not play going forward. So now you have Dame and Drew and Scoot and Sharp. What is our direction going to be? What are we going to do here? Are we going to roll with that? Are we going to like turn the clock forward, which we can get to when we get to like a bold move? Or are we going to be kind of content to maybe just move off Grant, move off Drew Holiday, like maybe move some of these pieces in to let the young guys go? And that's where the new owner kind of throws it off. Like, what does he want to do? Does he want to save on some of these contracts, or does he want to kind of throw some gas on it and get 4 home playoff games next year?
Yeah, I think that's the fork in the road they're dealing with is what yeah, go big or just get those veterans and get more assets for those veterans. And if you want to keep Lillard as like the guy that guides the young guys, that's totally fine, but you don't need to also play Thibault or Grant or Holiday as well, right? Like one veteran, maybe two, and then let the young guys go. And I forgot the Bobby Marks things. They do not have any picks in this draft. They are $30 million under the luxury tax right now. Free agents are Thibault, Williams, Wesley, and Love is a restricted free agent. So they got most of their roster intact, and I imagine because of their depth at the center position, they'll let Robert Williams and Thibault, they'll probably let both them walk. So um, and they do have 4 future first round picks. I had to look that up to trade as well. So they can go either direction where they just accumulate a bunch of assets, or like you said, they might just like make that all in move. Long shot.
I think this is like I don't even know if it's low key anymore. Giannis team. Like if there's a team that wants to put gas on it, the Jeremy Grant contract fits right in. And then whether it's Scoot Henderson, whether it's Kamara, Shaden Sharp, throw in a young guy, and they have the pick and the 2 swaps from the Bucks that they could send right on back. So I think the Blazers might have the cleanest option if they're going to try to sell those playoff game Scoots to the Bucks and the Jeremy Grant and some picks. I think that's probably their cleanest move to be able to have Dame and Drew. And if you keep Kamara, you have Denny, center, right? Like you can kind of have a good team with that. I don't know if that team competes. It's better, but I think, their long shot there is if they want to be the Giannis team, I think they have maybe the easiest way to do it because they can give back those Bucks picks.
Yeah, so if they went after Giannis, which that was my long shot too, their starting lineup would be Klingon, Giannis, Avdia, Lillard, and Holiday. It's not bad. That's not bad, but yeah. Because I imagine that Scoot and or Sharp would have to be in a trade like that. So
yeah, and I think I'm sure they would prefer to just put Scoot in there because again, he's going to be up for an extension soon. And how do you pay a guy that you kind of haven't seen it? But if the Bucks really like Scoot, or if Jenkins, our new coach, likes Scoot, like, hey, here we go. Grant is a passable player, like, right? He's not terrible,
right?
Way overpaid, but cool. We can have a fun, like, mid-lottery Bucks team, but at least you get your picks back going forward.
Well, and if they change the lottery system, it's probably where you want to be anyway, the middling teams, right? With the 3 balls or whatever. So yeah, I like that. And if they wanted to, they also could probably flip Grant later on if they felt like they needed to. So okay. Anything else on the Blazers?
I think that's it.
Okay, let's go on to the Timberwolves before I move on. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, subscribe, leave comments down below what way you think the Blazers should go. Give them a grade. And yeah, don't forget to leave whatever comment you want. Okay, let's go to the Timberwolves. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.